Hello and welcome back to How About That Crypto. You are watching your daily crypto news and updates with your host, Bitcoin Stylist on Twitter and Bitcoin Hairstylist on Instagram. I'm here throughout the week and I explain crypto and Web3 while keeping you up to date on all the latest. Let's call it almost daily updates. All right. So I didn't talk to y'all yesterday. I wanted to make sure to say something today, especially seeing Bitcoin drop below $20,000. I'm not going to leave y'all hanging and be like, oh, what's going on? Robert isn't giving us like an update. We're having this crash happening. Ethereum is down below $1,000. So what is going on? Why does this keep dropping? Well, first, remember inflation. Inflation is high as it's been in like 30 years or something, like 30 or 40 years. We're having quantitative tightening. The Fed is increasing the interest rates, which makes money more expensive to borrow. So it makes it harder for you to build your business, increase your business. It makes it hard for companies who rely on continued funding, like startups. They can't continue to get funding because investors are all spooked. So they have to lay people off. Companies that are in industries that are continuing to grow, primarily like tech, where they might be building a product and they're still working on becoming profitable, or their profits aren't as high as what are sorry they're not making, maybe they're not making profits because they're still growing. Those companies rely on borrowing and investment in order to continue to employ people. So there's layoffs all over the place. Crypto space, a lot of people are free, they're freezing jobs, and I expect that we're going to see other industries follow suit. And I say that because I don't think that the Federal Reserve is going to be able to get the inflation under control fast enough. And if they do, it's a good chance that they go ahead and break the economy, causing us to drop into a recession. Now, this stuff is happening because of many factors, but the biggest one is supply chain issues. We got a war in Ukraine, and that's screwing up tons of supply chain stuff, primarily energy and food. And then China's zero COVID policy is tying up all that stuff that you like to buy on Amazon and wherever else you buy it, like anything that requires an input from China. And it might not be the end product, but it might be, they might manufacture the material from raw materials. They might like get the raw materials from a mining operation and turn it into plastic that you use in another country to create these headphones or whatever. So, you might send the raw material to China. They make the plastic. The plastic goes to Singapore. And then the plastic's been molded into something. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? Then it goes back to China and puts the little cushion thing on. Then it goes to the U.S. It gets painted. I'm not saying that's how it happens. I'm just saying that is how the supply chain stuff works. Not everything is made from zero all the way. Like these headphones wouldn't be, every single piece of these headphones wouldn't be made all in one place. There's a good chance that things need to move around the world as they get manufactured, or at least like raw materials to a manufacturing site to like the whoever, I don't know, finishes it or sells it or packages it. So anyway, point is, supply chain issues are really screwing everything up, and they're causing price increases in places they shouldn't be. They're causing people to freak out, panic. All we hear is inflation, recession. Okay, so that's biggest stuff that's happening. So, but crypto does have its own stuff. Remember, the first we got high inflation numbers. People were really worried. The following month, we had higher than expected inflation numbers, and then Terra Luna collapsed. If you didn't learn about that, go back, watch those videos. It's important that you understand what happened there. And then the following month, which just happened a week ago, we had worse than expected inflation numbers, which also just shows that things aren't getting better. They're actually getting worse. So that creates fear in the markets. People, when they're afraid, they move away from risky assets. and they're just going to set their money in things that they don't consider risky. And then we have the staked ETH debacle, which creates a ton of, and if you didn't listen to any of those videos, go back and watch those videos from this week. I talked about what happened with staked ETH, but basically someone created a synthetic version of Ethereum, and that synthetic version is now trading at less than what Ethereum is trading, and a ton of people use these for leverage. Well, because of the drop of the price and the depegging away from the original price of ETH, this is causing tons of liquidations. So many that Celsius, which is a crypto lending platform, had to halt all withdrawals. So that's a concern, because if you can't get your money, that's going to create more fear, and people are going to want to get out. People are going to be afraid to hold their money in crypto. And on top of that, it just sucks to be a Celsius customer, because who knows when you're going to get your money back. It's so bad they're talking to lawyers about restructuring or seeing if someone will buy them. And there's an investor in Celsius, and apparently they invest in a ton of the rest of the market, called Three Arrows Capital. So that's the big piece of news I'm going to share with you. Three Arrows Capital. All right, I'm going to share my screen real quick. All right. Author Shorya Malwa reports for CoinDesk. Three Arrows Capital confirms heavy losses from Luna's collapse, exploring potential options. The company's co-founder said it's looking into the possibility of asset sales and a rescue by another firm. So Three Arrows Capital. Three Arrows Capital is, let me just scroll down here. Three Arrows Capital, or 3AC, is additionally known as one of the largest holders of Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, they buy Bitcoin and they trade on the market. So you can buy on the regular stock market, you could buy the GBTC ticker symbol for Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, and you can buy Bitcoin. The problem is, when a ton of people sell their shares, the price of the shares goes down, but they can't sell. They can't destroy shares because they're a trust. There's like some like legal framework there. So but that's a whole other story. But basically, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is the largest holder of Bitcoin as a trust, and it's the most direct way to invest in Bitcoin if you don't have an account on a crypto exchange. They're also an institution. They were also had a ton of staked Ethereum tokens and were considered one of the largest holders of the staked ETH tokens. So they're hurting right now. And so it's so bad. I'm going to go up here. It says beleaguered cryptocurrency fund Three Arrows Capital confirmed Friday it has suffered heavy losses in the recent market downturn and said it had hired legal and financial advisors to figure a way out. They said, we're committing to working things out. I'm sure they are. They had over $3 billion worth of cryptocurrencies under their management. So they're looking at selling. They're looking at exploring options, including asset sales and a rescue by another firm. Well, they owe $6 million already to one currency exchange, and they invested over $200 million in Luna, and that went to zero. They lost nearly all of its value, which I'd already mentioned. So that's the big deal. 3AC is invested in Celsius, and that they also have a ton of exposure to Luna, and they have a ton of exposure to the staked ETH. So that's what's happening. Luna collapse and staked ETH collapse are still like hurting us. Celsius and 3AC have been able to reclaim some of the value of their tokens because staked ETH came back pretty close to being valued at the price of Ethereum, but it's not looking good. Basically, I have my money on exchanges, and I'm worried that one of those exchanges is going to go under. There's all these people going under, so I think there's going to be a lot of all the weak players are going to get shaken out, any of these exchanges that are super small and some founder used their own money to prop it up. They probably don't have access to capital, and they're probably going to be purchased and acquired. Robinhood is really hiring to build out their crypto arm. They're acquiring crypto firms. So I think you'll see more of that. I could see Coinbase with their stack 7 billion or whatever cash that they have. I could see them going on a spending spree and acquiring a bunch of their competition too. So anyway, that's what's happening with crypto. Bitcoin's down, Ethereum is down. So in light of all this, do you think that this stuff is going to blow over? I do. Oh, and by the way, this is not financial advice. Obviously, I say that all the time, but if you're new to the show, this is not financial advice. This is for your entertainment. I love it. I love crypto, so I love talking about it, and I love paying attention to it. And since I pay attention to it anyway, I figured I'd keep y'all up to speed on what I'm paying attention to and what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking that you're going to see a lot of consolidation of exchanges. I think that you're going to see a lot of things wiped out. I think you can see lower prices, but I'm not going to wait for lower prices. I'm buying. I'm like looking for money under my mattress to put into the bank account so I can buy, but I'm buying. What are you doing? Let me know. Leave a comment below, and I will talk to y'all later. Have a good weekend. Huddle on, and happy Father's Day to all y'all. Peace.